So hey there guys, welcome back to the channel one more time. I am Dipayan and I hope every one of you are doing absolutely fine. A very good morning to each one of you all. What do you see today in front of you? This is a tappet adjuster. Okay. This is a filler gauge by which you measure the actual clearance, and this is a 10 by 11 ring wrench which is used to crack the nut before you go ahead and adjust the valves, adjust the clearance. So I would be making a dedicated video very soon demonstrating the step-by-step procedure of how to adjust the valve clearance in a motorcycle. I would be doing it in my motorcycle, the Honda Highness CB350, very soon, so you do not want to miss that. Make sure to stay subscribed and stay tuned to my channel for that. So before going ahead in this video, let me just take this one out and show you all. I am a little bit tempted to show you all this. So this is basically the filler gauge. It's used for measuring the clearance, valve clearance, and also to measure a couple of other things like the spark plug gap and all such things. So multiple measurements are available over here. So as you could see, measurements are being written over here like this. So various kinds of measurements are available. Figure over here denotes this particular thickness. This is the filler gauge, and this is the actual adjuster. Okay, it sits on top of the tappet. As you could see, there's a particular groove made over here, a box groove, so it goes on top of the tappet, sits there. Before that, we need to crack a particular nut. There's a particular nut that has to be undone first so that it becomes adjustable, and then we either turn it clockwise or anti-clockwise to adjust the clearance. The procedure stays pretty much the same for most motorcycles that has the adjustable type valve clearance. Okay, now there are basically two types. One is the adjustable one, which is there in our CB350 and many other motorcycles, and there is another modern technique as well where it is not adjustable directly, like they have the shim system, okay, where there is no adjuster on top of the rockers, but there are shims of appropriate size which with time wear out and the gap increases. So when it does wear out, we need to replace the shim directly and again measure it with the filler gauge to give it the appropriate clearance. But in case of the adjustable type valve clearance system, which is there in our CB also, from time to time we need to adjust the valve clearance. We need to check the valve clearance whether it is at spec or not, and if not, then we got to adjust it to its specification. Okay, so that's the story over here. And one more thing guys, in my motorcycle the valve clearance is not set at factory specification. Okay, I had done a different kind of settings in the valve clearance that also I'm going to talk about when we do the clearance check in my motorcycle. So that is the reason I am not going to actually adjust the clearance in my motorcycle, because when you go for a valve clearance in your motorcycle, after the clearance has been set, it takes at least 500 to 1000 kilometer for the actual feel to arrive. So that particular seasoning has already been done in my motorcycle a couple of months back, around 3-4,000 kilometers back. So I don't want to disturb that. Okay, so I'm going to show you all the step-by-step procedure of how it is done in a motorcycle, but I'm not going to do it in real time in a motorcycle, which is basically you will get a fair enough idea of how it is done. I'm going to demonstrate the step-by-step procedure of how the particular thing is done in a motorcycle. It's going to be pretty much the same. 99% of it is the same for all motorcycles, just that the clearance figures varies from bike to bike, from model to model. So more about it coming up in the dedicated video that I'm making. So please do not forget to stay subscribed in my channel and stay tuned for that video. Maybe in a couple of days or maybe in 1 week, one and a half week, that video will be live in my channel. So I would be doing that. And yep, another information over here, why do we need to check the valve clearance and when do we need to check the valve clearance? So first of all, if your bike is new, don't bother about it guys, just enjoy the motorcycle. As a general thumb rule, okay, you got to check and adjust the valve clearance if required after 20 to 25,000 kilometers, not before that. But yes, there has been instances where the requirement came up much earlier, like 5 to 6,000 kilometers. That's why it's given in the owner's manual in the third service to check the clearance of the valves and adjust if required. So it depends on a lot of factors, okay. The first factor being how you ride your motorcycle. If you are generally a very rough rider, very high speed rider, so in that case the requirement could arrive early. If you ride your motorcycle very gently, then the interval could even elongate, even increase, like 30,000, 40,000 kilometers. So it all depends. Also, it also depends on the quality of fuel being used. Yes guys, that's another factor over here. So if your motorcycle, if you fill up from a fuel tank, I mean from a fuel station where the fuel is not that great, I mean adulterated or all such stuffs here, I hope you understand. So in those cases, when bad fuel gets burnt through the engine, in those cases also the valve clearance interval arrives earlier. So, and a lot of other factors, as I said, the way you ride your motorcycle, how you maintain your motorcycle, like timely services have been done or not, whether the engine oil has been replaced in time or not. A lot of other factors also uh, decide whether the valve clearance has to be done early or it could be done later. But generally it should be done after 20 to 25,000 kilometers, where there is an adjustable type valve clearance. In case of the shim type, it is even more, like 40, 50,000 kilometers, if of course if the bike has been ridden properly, with care, with love. It all boils down to to a single factor, guys: how you ride your motorcycle. If you ride your motorcycle with care, with love, a lot of maintenance stuffs arrives late. But if you don't do it, if you ride it rough, if you ride it you know uh, very harshly, then a lot of things are going to depreciate much faster, and a lot of service related jobs is going to arrive much sooner. So that is the big factor over here which you got to keep in your mind. So that's all about it, guys. I just wanted to show you all these things: the adjuster, the filler gauge, and the ring wrench, with which, I mean, I'm not sure. Generally the lock nut is either 10 or 11 mm. That I'll find out after I take off the head cap and check. So if it is more, if it is a different size, then I got to get hold of that, and then I will be able to lose the nut and proceed with the valve clearance. So stay tuned for that video, guys. It's going to be very, very interesting. But again, I don't want you all to do it at home at any cost. This is not something which which you would like to do at home. You could watch the video for your knowledge sake and for entertainment, of course. As I said, these things are very precision maintained, and it should be done by a very, very good technician. So you could watch the video for your knowledge, so that you get the knowledge of how these things are done and why it is important to do in a motorcycle, what results it could bring to you. So yeah, that being said, guys, let me just end this video over here. I basically planned to make a short video, but then I thought, let's just explain these things to you all first prior to actually making that video. Okay, so stay tuned for that video which is coming up very, very soon. And yep, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Take care, guys. Have a very good day ahead. Bye bye.